Hi, my name is Anne Spice. I'm Tlingit, a member of Kwanlin Dun First Nation, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Geography and Environmental Studies at X University. If I was going to put a name to this talk, I might call it Against Resilience. Indigenous peoples are often labeled resilient. As Canada turns from official policies of Indigenous assimilation and elimination to what Indigenous scholars have termed the politics of recognition, we are becoming accustomed to celebrations of our survival. But having our resilience noted without describing the context in which that resilience became necessary feels wrong. It feels like getting tripped, falling face first into the pavement, dragging ourselves back up, scraped and bloody, gravel and dirt ground into our wounds, only to have the person who tripped us in the first place say, "Wow, you got up fast, and you look great." Instead of asking how we are, instead of asking how they can help, instead of being accountable for causing us to fall in the first place. The truth is, we are being tripped up again and again by the same forces. The colonizers continue to tear us from our territories. Capitalism continues to render our lives and lands into resources to be extracted. Over hundreds of years, we have been forced into barely livable conditions. We have been killed and removed, relocated and re-educated. We have been poisoned and abused and silenced. What has remained constant over all this time is not some immutable character of Indigenous resilience, some collective racial character that has allowed us to curl up and weather the storm, to get back up once we've been pushed down. The constant variable in all of this has been racial capitalism and its violent extractive practice. This colonial system is resilient because it feeds on our bones. This is a resilience that requires Black and Indigenous death to turn a profit. This is a resilience that animates the global economy with fossil fuels, even when this is a surefire path to our collective destruction. A resilience beyond science or ethics or fact. This is a resilience to be feared and to be fiercely rejected. And we do reject it. The survival of Indigenous peoples is not due to our ability to remain stoic or static. Our survival is not a passive part of our character. We fought back against threats to our people. We analyzed and theorized and built strategies to confront the colonizers and their destructive ways. Even before conquest, we have stories of fighting monstrous beings that threatened our communities. And now we are not holding our breath for recognition of our resilience, especially if that recognition is a celebration that we didn't die in murderous conditions. We are tired of receiving compliments from people who are simultaneously trying to destroy us. The stakes of this fight are clear, as governments around the world create strategic plans to deal with the worsening effects of climate change. Canada's plan is based on strategies of adaptation and mitigation as the country tries to balance adjusting to a changing climate with reducing the worst climate effects. Indigenous resilience is cast as part of the solution, with a separate report on Indigenous resilience set to be released in 2022. But it's worth noting what other systems the language of resilience clings to. Canada's climate change strategies are full of talk of resilient economies, resilient infrastructure, resilient cities. And I'd be willing to bet that when it comes down to it, the resilience of the capitalist economy will win out as Canada's national priority. And when that resilience threatens our collective survival, we must turn our own collective resilience to resistance and relation and revolution instead. There is a monstrous being to be fought, and we can't hold back now just because he keeps feeding us compliments. Pinashish, thank you.